Are you listening?
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, and for today's show, seeing that 2020 is all but over and we've seen our first full year of Google Stadia, I wanted to talk about the best games currently available on Google Stadia. And clearly, this video will become dated the moment that it airs, so get ready for like 10 of these videos in 2021. So first up, let's talk about one of the newest games to come to Stadia, and that's Outcasters. This game has quickly become my go-to game if I'm wanting to sit down and play something and just unwind. While this game does primarily feature competitive matches, Outcasters is still casual enough that I think the majority of gamers can pick it up and play this game. In Outcasters, you will compete in multiple styles of matches to play against other players, and you must cast your shots and curve them to hit your enemies. And probably my favorite part is the game also features power-ups that you can actually stack up to create your own specific unique shot against opposing players. Now the next game we have to talk about is Immortals Fenyx Rising. This game is the ultimate blend between Assassin's Creed and Nintendo's Breath of the Wild. The game features a massive open world to explore, challenging enemies to fight, and an extremely funny narrative. In fact, that might be the best part of the game. In Immortals, you will play as Fenyx, who is on a journey to rescue the gods from the Titan Typhon. And honestly, I just started playing this game and I'm already enjoying it. The size of the world is really impressive, and I know it's going to sound weird, but it almost feels like the perfect size for an open world game. Like, not too big that I end up losing interest, but big enough that I can actually feel like I accomplished something when I beat it. Alright, now we could not make this list without talking about this next game, and that's Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal might be the best test game to show off the capabilities of Google Stadia. As for a game that needs precise, pinpoint response time, Doom Eternal on Stadia feels exactly like you're playing on console or PC. Now, if you're not aware, Doom Eternal allows you to play as the Doom Slayer as you fight off the invading hordes of demons who are trying to destroy Earth. This game on its own is fantastic, and being able to stream this game with zero problems makes it one of the best ways to experience Google Stadia. This next game flew under the radar for quite a few people this year, but let's talk about Cake Bash, which might be my new favorite party game. If you haven't heard of this game, think Mario Party, but instead of playing a board game, you are a pastry and you're trying to be the most delicious pastry in the world. Now, Cake Bash features some extremely fantastic game modes like Fork Knife, Campfire, and Neapolitan. This game is a fantastic party game that is easy to play with friends and very quick to pick up for new players. Next up, let's talk about Orcs Must Die 3, which takes your traditional tower defense game and flips it on its head. In this game, players must fight off multiple waves of orcs and prevent them from reaching the portal. Now, aside from using your typical melee skills, players can also lay down various traps and weapons that are designed to kill, funnel, and stop the hordes of orcs. So when talking about Stadia, I always like to bring up this next game because it pretty much sold me on the platform. Destiny 2. It runs so well on Google Stadia. When I first received my Chromecast Ultra, I genuinely couldn't believe that I was playing this game without a PlayStation or an Xbox to run it. Destiny 2 really shined on Stadia for me, specifically on the topic of storage space, because at its peak, the game was taking up nearly 120 gigabytes on my PlayStation 4. Whereas with Stadia, the game runs exactly the same with no installs, no storage, and no surprise updates. Another plus, Destiny 2 is free to play on Stadia, so you definitely should check this game out. Alright, for this next game, I actually want to talk about the series, because the Assassin's Creed series of games run so well on Stadia. Whether you're fighting the Spartans in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, riding on a camel in Assassin's Creed Origins, or raiding and pillaging in Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, these games are all extremely impressive on Stadia. In fact, when playing games on my 4K TV, these are my go-to games to get that stunning, beautiful graphic gameplay. And let's be honest, these games don't just look good, they are actually fun to play as well. Now, the game that I've probably spent the most playing in 2020 would definitely be Krata. Krata is a game creation platform that allows players to build and create any game that they want. The game allows you to either develop your own game from the ground up, or you can take one of Krata's base coding formats like gun game or time trials, and you can build your game from that. On top of that, Krata also features a ton of user-created games as well that are definitely worth getting lost in. Alright, let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077, which admittedly, this game isn't for everybody. But if you're looking for a massive open-world RPG game, look no further than this. Cyberpunk features a ton of side missions, a giant city to explore, and honestly, my favorite part about this game is probably the shooting mechanics. Like, on some of the missions, I purposefully sabotaged them so I could play this game like Call of Duty. CD Projekt Red should honestly be applauded for the shooting mechanics in this game. And the final game that I want to include on this list is Red Dead Redemption 2. And there are honestly a ton of reasons that this game should be included on this list. 1, how big the game is. 2, how fantastic the game is. And 3, how fun the game can be with friends. From a size perspective, Red Dead 2 offers a massive open world with different biomes to explore. Red Dead 2 also features a really compelling story, along with some of the best voice acting in video games ever. And finally, Red Dead 2 also features Red Dead Online, which allows you and your friends to explore the Wild West and complete various side missions and quests together. Well, that's my list of the best games on Google Stadia. And like I said, I will have to update this list in like 3 weeks, but were there any games that I missed? What is your favorite Stadia game? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you want to see your name there? I know I do.